5 minutes. We're at 8:01. I mean, at some point, I feel like the good times are going to stop coming. The good times are going to stop rolling. We've been on a nice win streak. But let's keep things going. Okay, get the 2 knights out. Obviously, our bishop is coming next. Okay, can't go in the center, so we'll just go back here and... Wait a minute. But how did this happen if... No, but usually when it happens, we have time to make a snorkel. What the... No, but we didn't have any time here. Like, I didn't even have a move. I couldn't play A3. Now, this guy came with some witchcraft here. How did he do that? Well, got to keep the stick on the ice. Not going to dwell any longer here. But I don't see a move to save my bishop, so capture towards the center and I guess keep it moving. 2 pawns in the center, right? Okay, knight here. What the heck? What the heck? What's Lil Bro doing? Knight into the middle, I guess. I think he sensed some... he trapped my bishop, and then all of a sudden, bro just went on offense here. Okay, wait a minute. When I said that the good times might come to an end, I didn't mean like that they had to end immediately, like on the spot. I kind of thought maybe just slowly, or like maybe a hard-fought game. Are we just cooked? What the hell is this? This takes me back to level 1, man. I swear this is level 1 stuff on us. People are hitting us with these nonsense ones. Knight G4 and H5? Fuck's sakes, man. He's going to put his queen here. Now, how do I make sure that's not checkmate, right? The rook, the pawn, they don't really help me. This is the only pawn we can move to stop that. So I think we got to give it a go. If I do literally any move here, this is mate. If we put our bishop here, it's just going to take, and the exact same thing is possible. So I don't see anything except moving this pawn. I feel like this is a once in a lifetime move here. We got to give it a go. Am I missing anything? This is just mate. I wish I had 2 moves. We could try to run away. 2 moves I could do a lot. 1, 2. But with 1 move, no. I got to give it a go. I don't know. Dude, as soon as I gain access to the 800 club, the guy's just sending me right back down. This is a stomp. Like, this is a complete stomp. He just took away the escape square that I made, and now I can't make any more. I'm completely stuck here. I can't do anything about it. I think I'm lost. I'm dead. What the heck? Dude, I got destroyed there. And let's not forget, it wasn't just about the mate. It was about my bishop too. What the hell happened on What happened to this bishop? No, but this is a problem. I don't even know what to do about this. He's one step faster. Like, I can't play this because this always happens. So it's almost like I need to like not put my bishop there because I see nothing after that, right? Nothing to do after that. So it means I can't play bishop there, but there's no way I'm going to remember this exact setup and just remember not to do it. So I have to just hope it doesn't happen again. If it happens a few times, I might start remembering it. But for now, I mean, dude. Okay, I got nothing to say about this. This was a heat check. My 800 membership just got revoked. I'm back to 793. You know, I'm outside the club banging on the door. Let me in. Let's see if I can gain access again. Bishop c4 got absolutely dummied. e4. Okay, thank goodness. Different from last game. This one I know, right? This one, we feel better about this. We want to get a pawn in the middle, right? Knight's out, pawn in the middle. This feels good. Obviously, we can start with our snorkel there. Just ask the bishop what's up. Get our bishop out. Yeah. Castle. This looks pretty good, right? Bishop here. Okay. It's hitting our pawn in the middle there. Let's bring the rook in. I mean, I guess our bishop does have that extra access here. We could be taking, I always say throughout the entire series, like, these are by far the lamest captures to make. So these are the ones I never deduct points off anyone if they don't remember to take them. First of all, it's long range for that bishop to even see, especially at level 1. But also, you're moving your bishop out, you're developing it, and you're taking something that hasn't moved. So it really is not something that feels good. But we do it because trading pieces is a good habit, and that just reinforces it. So I've always said that one's like probably my least favorite. Rook's in the middle. Bishop's hitting the center. Snorkel. Everything's looking great. Hit him with the RPMs, I guess. What else? RPMs. RPMs. Okay, he's attacking our knight. We need to defend it. I guess we could maybe double the rooks while also defending it. It's a multi-purpose move. I can get behind that. Okay, I think we'll just kind of complete our RPMs over here. I have no more pawns to move. I was thinking about doubling the rooks, so maybe here. Yeah, stack the rooks on top of one another like that. And what can we do? RPM time. Yeah, we got the bishops here. They're looking pretty good. Okay, our bishops hit. Obviously check the center. No move in the center. I guess we go back and probably continue with our random pawn moves. RPM stands for random pawn moves. Our rooks are stacked in the middle. RPM. I think this is the way to do it. As usual, are the RPMs causing the opponent to just think for like 2 minutes? This is a classic RPM moment. Okay, did he disconnect? I mean, are the RPMs that strong? I don't know what it is about the random pawn moves, but they always make the guy sit here and think for like ever and ever. All right, takes, obviously. Capture we want to do. I think we got to continue with the RPMs. Right? We got one left. Let's go. Take in the middle, right? We got rook takes here. We're in the middle. We're feeling good. Rook's attacked. I say we stay central. This move looks correct. Right? Staying right in the middle. Also hitting the queen. I can't complain. So we have no more pawns, which means our next moves are probably, I was thinking maybe bishop into the middle could be a good one. Depending where he moves his queen, maybe the bishop could even go here, right? For example, this move would walk into a nice fork. So it really depends where he puts this queen. Also, this move walks into a nice skewer. So a couple bad queen squares to go to, and he does go to one of them. That's big. Very nice. Game's not over, not even close, but we do win a little bit of material to be happy with here. Take that. Okay, what can we do here? We got these pieces. I'm looking at my queen. You're looking to improve that a little bit. Get into the center. Maybe let's do it. Queen in. Ooh, respect to him. I like that move. That's a fantastic move. Probably the best move he could have done, if we're being honest. Is queen takes a8 too advanced? What are you talking about advanced? You guys are morons. The rook's defended. You want to give up 9 points for 5? Might be time to return to level 1. All right, let's make this trade here. Rook's in the middle. Can't be too unhappy about it. I think let's default to our usual, right? Bring the king in. Let's go. Okay, our king is in, and as usual, when the pawn is sending it up the board, you just go and catch it, right? Always need a rook in front of it. That ensures that this pawn doesn't go too far away. And why the heck did we bring our king in? Well, it's so that we could take all this stuff. So let's use it. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to take that. Check. Okay, I'm going to move our king here. Hey, trade. I mean, not going to complain. I got my super king here, just literally winning everything. Just got my rook in the middle of the board. My king's doing everything. Okay. Our king did about as much as it possibly could. Our rook has been in the center. It's been taking care of business. Maybe we can move our rook so that our king can actually get in there. I like this. Yeah. Okay. King in the middle. This is what we like. Okay. What can we do? Let's bring the rook into the middle. Oh. Okay, he's attacking our pawn here. I guess we'll save it, and obviously a trade. Okay, this pawn is being Okay, defend. Attacked. Let's keep it central. Knight h4 playing for the win. Respect. Definitely. I could see myself making the same decision with 0.9 seconds. So, understandable. He's only got 0.6. What do we think his next move is going to be? We have to save our rook. Let's put it in the middle. 0.4. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. What? What kind of witchcraft just happened? Hold on just a second here. What just occurred? We might need an instant replay. Was it at 0.2 the whole time? Well, if anything, we're reinforcing habits. We have to be. You don't follow habits, you get punished. Even when it looks like you're the one doing the punishing. No, seriously. This is crazy. I thought that it was at 0.1. Now I'm rethinking. I'm like, huh? No, it's impossible. I'm rethinking everything. Well, at least we're doing one thing right. Now, we could go on a tangent about how, we're getting people thinking about habits. We did something bad there. We lost. So you're supposed to follow habits, and that won't happen. But what we really did well here was we finally taught our opponent an important lesson about not resigning. I think he might remember this one for the rest of his career. Right? There's no way that with less than a second left that you ever expect a win, especially on time. So surely, putting that in perspective, could you ever resign a game again? Let's be real. Could you ever click the resign button again after you played a game like this? You could never do it, right? I think we may have just changed this guy's trajectory. We'll have to bookmark his name, Shadowhunter757. I have a feeling he's on the up and up. If you win a game like that, you're never clicking the resign button again. This is just from a different planet. So, there you go. Our good deed for the day. That's going to be our coping mechanism. Not that, we played with bad habits and we lost. Look at that, play with good habits instead. No, that's too obvious. Instead, we're going to go with this one. But genuinely, didn't do it on purpose. I wish I could say, we just wanted to make a good point about habits. No. Genuinely thought that the guy was at 0.1. And I thought we did such a good job nailing 0.2. I was like almost going to be proud. And we didn't. The guy kept his stick on the ice and he got the win. I guess it's only fair. Bad habits getting punished. The food played with us. Bullying low ELO players. I hope you're talking to him. I lost the game. You should feel sorry for me. I'm getting bullied here. Which tactic are you talking about, Clutcheroo? A tactic after the bishop fork? What do you mean? Did we miss a tactic? Why didn't I sacrifice the queen? Are we looking at the same screen? I just want to make sure that it says no sacrifices on your screen as well. I also want to make sure that it says basic tactics on your screen as well. Does it? Or is that just on my end? Maybe that's a local, is that a local thing? Is it different person to person? Basic tactics. No, you guys are going crazy with it. Chill. We're on level 2 and I feel like you guys are trying to reach for the moon here. This is exactly why you guys are going to stay low ELO. Right? You're watching a game, you see something like that, you're like, oh my God, bro, this is crazy. Queen sack for and it works and you're a genius. But the other games where you try the same thing, it's not going to work, unfortunately. Good habits is not to go into it just yet. Trust me, you will improve to a level where you're going to be spotting that stuff, no problem. In fact, if you can see it right now, great. It's going to be waiting for you later, but you don't need it, right? We finished that game off without that move and think we did a pretty good job. You guys will be a lot smarter than me at the end there, so that's a dub for you. Patham, I know it's hard to take in, but unless it's a basic tactic, no sacrifices. Come on, guys. Well, after playing around, we get absolutely what we deserve. No entry into the 800 club. Let's continue. We're playing Darth Vader, who very much just got his membership to the 800 circle. Okay, let's take that. And here, we finally get to showcase how we're not going to play the fuck me opening. I've played this and simply tucked my tail way too many times. And you're telling me I can just prevent the entire thing by going here? Wow, that was really easy. And then I put the knight there. That's crazy, bro. I don't have to play any of those bad positions. This is huge. Huge for the program. Let's castle. We got the snorkel coming next. There we go. Okay, take back. Obviously, we got that trade there. We got the bishop hitting the center here. Can't complain. In comes the rook. Right? We want to get the queen up. This is one of those hover moments. Let's just get that queen out of the way and bring the other rook into the middle. Let's go. Okay, rook's being hit. Quite annoying. Maybe, yeah, it's actually really annoying. Maybe this one, get some trades in if we can. Maybe we can double the rooks here. I don't mind that. Okay, now I think we want to take it just because there's no pin anymore. So, okay, we have another trade to do. Let's do that. King takes. Let's remember, guys. Just do that. Just eyeball it a little bit. And pushing a pawn into the center seems pretty fair. I'm going to hit him with the rest of our RPMs over here. Wait, no, it couldn't be. Could it? No. Have we? I don't think we've had this one before. Trying to think. I mean, we've had these ones, right? With the bishops. You know, congratulations. Basic pin. But have we ever had one on the king like this? I don't think that we have. Wow. Oh, this feels pretty good. Yeah, is that a tactic I just got? Hold on a second. I apologize. I know this is first time for me. This is the first time. I just didn't know what to do with myself. Hit him with the RPMs here. All right. Well, let's get that queen into the middle. Surely that's a smart thing to do. And it's the end game. I guess we got to bring our king in and use our queen to take some pawns from our opponent. That looks pretty good. Okay, we got our king into the middle. But now we need to use our queen the best of our ability and take some pawns that belong to our opponent, right? Okay. Gonna move this king. Okay, queen needs to move here. Where can we go? Let's go here. Okay, what can we do? I guess we stay in the center here with our queen. I can't really bring my king or queen to any other square here, so I'm not exactly sure what to do. But we are in an endgame, so we might have to start RPMing on the other side. Because at this point, these aren't pawns in front of my king anymore, right? These are just these are just pawn moves. So I think we got to do that. Okay. I guess we'll move our king up the board here. Okay. What? What did I do? What did I do? This was unintentional. I feel like he did it to himself. Nah, but this was... He walked into it. He walked into it. We got to utilize a new tactical theme. I mean, obviously, we've seen a pin before, but I feel like against the king like that in the middle of the board and it being the queen that was the problem, that felt pretty good. That was very satisfying. That was very satisfying. A very good game from Darth Vader there. He gave us a run for our money. Why sack pawns? We said no sacrifices. Those are not sacrifices. Those are random pawn moves. RPMs. Quintessential to building good habits. I can't count the amount of times that a random pawn move has indicated to me exactly what my next move should be. Must remember those. How are 500s better than 700s? I don't know what kind of 500s you're playing, my man, but I'd rather play them. Put it that way. I would rather play them. Can we get our membership back? Let's get back into this 800 club here. Okay, let's bring that knight in. There comes the other knight, and we've actually looked at this position before, and we've said to ourselves, hang on, right? Yes, the bishop can develop, but let's actually start to look at d4 as an option, right? d4 instead of just the passive d3. We're in level 2 here, starting to just think for ourselves a little bit more, be a little bit more aggressive, which means considering moving our bishop a bit further, considering moving our pawn in the center a bit further. I like it. Let's go ahead and take that. Wait, hang on a sec. This guy watching the Fildor speedrun? What? Okay, obviously we trade everything. Keep trading everything. Hey, this actually looks pretty good. We can play this, which would be a nice pin. I like it. And let's get castles. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Okay, bishop's hit. Let's go back there. Obviously, the center is not quite available. Here, I'm gonna use our habits, and I'm actually gonna keep this pressure. Right? It didn't make much sense for me to just take. I don't feel like I'm gaining anything, so let's keep it for now. Bring our rook to the middle. Obviously, we got our other rook. We got our snorkel. All this good stuff. I feel like we're playing a proper game all of a sudden. Oh, hang on a sec. He moved the bishop. Now it feels like with these doubled pawns, I do want to take. Hopefully that makes sense, right? I'm holding off because why did I put the bishop there? Just to take and what? Bishop for knight? Who cares? But this isn't who cares. Double pawns like that? I'm pretty happy. All right. Let's bring our rook to the middle. Bishop takes. We're going to take it right back. Continue here. We can maybe double the rooks. Also, no queens on the board, which means might be time to get that king in. Okay, let's get this trade. Bring the king, right? We are in an end game, so obviously the king is very important. Let's take that. Any trades we go for, so this one won't be very surprising. The king into the middle is very important in any endgame. So here we are. Okay, what should we do now? I think at this point, you know, we've got our king in. I think the next thing is maybe just to double the rooks, right? Any kind of endgame, you want to bring your king in, go for trades, push pawns. Okay, our pawn is attacked here. And once again, we are in the endgame, so you have to realize once you're in the endgame, these pawns are pretty much like any other. You know, you don't want to think of these as still in front of your king because they're not. We brought our king to the middle. So by moving this pawn in an endgame, it will definitely be a little different than moving it back when all the pieces were on the board. So for example, if I play a move like this, it's much different than if my king was here and there's queens on the board and you know, everything's much, much different there. I think I'm gonna go for this plan. Double the rooks. Bring our king into the middle, right? Okay, double, king into the middle. Use our pieces and attack the opponent's pawns. RPMs won't lead you astray either. I think when it comes to the endgame, as long as you have the ingredients, you can just throw them in there in any order. Okay, I mean, he's not really doing anything about my king, so I feel like I'm just gonna king activity, anybody? My king just walked literally up the board. Took everything in sight. Don't mind if I do. Okay, rook here. Anything for us here? At this point, I'm looking at maybe bringing my rooks down. Anything else? We could also start pushing some pawns, perhaps. Right? We've got a pawn that doesn't have anything in front of it. I mean, technically it makes sense to push him, right? RPM. Why didn't I take the rook? Well, but wasn't my turn here, and then I couldn't. So hopefully that explains it. But I can answer your question now. I will take it. I will take it. Rook takes here. I mean, I say we put the king in the middle and follow our habits, right? Bring that pawn. Let's do it. Keep that king, you know, middle, and push that pawn all the way. It's as simple as that. Give that a go. We have a pass pawn with nothing in front of it. It's always a sign to push it. I know it might not look like it back when we had it here, but that's why I played the move f4, because I realized there's absolutely nothing in front of it. So let's keep pushing it, keep going all the way. I really haven't touched the rest of the position, and my opponent's actually going to resign there. And oh, we just missed out on 800. Come on now, 799. You're really going to do me like that? Let me back in. I belong there. 1 point off is brutal. Well, we can't let it just sit there. Can't let it just sit there. All right. Meet him in the middle. Knight out. Other knight to follow. You guys know the drill. Interesting. Bishop went out very quickly. It's got me thinking like maybe a quick little snorkel. Don't mind if I do. Oh, I was going to put my bishop there, but you know what? This is a little bit unusual, but I think, why don't we go for the pin here? Okay, he's going to go back with the bishop. Now, obviously, d6, but guys, I think this is a moment that we can play d5. This is exactly what we build up our position for. We want to be playing those more aggressive central moves. That's a trade. Let's take it. Look at how much better our position is when we play d5, when we capture. We're the only ones with a pawn in the center. We get castle. Love the position. Bishop. Obviously, we want to move it. This makes the most sense. Hitting the center. Rook in the middle. Queen up. That's pretty much all we need. Bishop back, of course, because we want to keep hitting that. Okay, pawn pushes up the board. I'm just going to take it there. Okay. Let's bring that rook over. Guess we're just going to take that. Okay. Got our hanging piece there as well. Sorry, what? Didn't even look like there's anything wrong with the squint. It's just a free piece. What kind of nonsense is this? You're telling me that bro just played one, like he developed one piece and hit us with queen h2. You're kidding me. No, but this is like big brain to the max. What the hell is this? I'm dealing with some of the strongest 700s, I think, on the website. Good God. I'm not sure there's any antidote to that. You just got to put your hands together. You got to tip your hat. This is too good. I think we all lose to this guy. Far too talented. I certainly can't handle him. We're going to have to work a little bit harder for our 800 membership card. Hey, Brando, thanks for the raid. I know we're only in class here. We're only building habits until the hockey game. Believe me, I wouldn't miss that. I'll be cheering on the boys. Still can't believe you got to go to a game. That's so sick. Obviously, going to the final would be nuts. I wish it was in Canada. Make sure to throw a boo at the American anthem there, Mattis, Brando. Yeah, throw a boo at the U.S. anthem. We got hopefully a couple fights happening in the first 20 seconds of the game. Fuck. I can't wait. Can't wait. That is tonight. It's in like 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Can't wait. But it'll have to wait just a little bit longer so we can finish our class. This was honestly just big brain. I got nothing to say about it. Got me. He got me. All right. Let's lock in. Let's make it happen. Meet him in the middle. Out comes the knight. You know the other one is to follow. You know our bishop comes out. Okay. We want to get castled next. Okay, a little d6 and hold. 3 plus 3 equals 1 plus 5. 3 plus 3 plus 9 equals 1 plus 5 plus... Anyone? Yeah, you in the back. Yeah, I know you didn't volunteer, but help us out here. 3 plus 3 equals 5 plus 1. So 3 plus 3 plus 9 equals 5 plus 1 plus 9. It's that simple. And we're not doing anything off script, right? We always want to bring a queen to the middle. So let's do it. No problems. Okay, he's doing it. Did we count it out right? I think we did. This is a very important habit right here. Are we also going to get a queen trade? Bishop needs to move. Let's go ahead and do that. Bring our rook into the middle. Obviously our snorkel with h6. Looks pretty nice here. Queen up. I think time for the RPMs. Let's go. Rev your motors. Okay, let's continue. Hit him and quit him. RPMs. Obviously, every capture. Now, after this move, we don't really have another pawn move. So probably what I'm planning to do is move my knight into the center. I don't have any rooks to stack on top of each other, right? I can't double them. So knight into the middle. And we always love a knight into the middle because it allows us to prepare more RPMs. So that's really helpful. Okay, we want to take here, of course. Now it's our turn. Knight into the middle. You see how I've got these moves kind of ready to go? Right? I'm not sitting here calculating them. I just know that this is my next one. Right? We've played games so similar to this before. The patterns are the same. RPMs till there's no more pawn moves, right? Stuck. We can't move that one. So we got to move this. And then suddenly we have more RPMs. Oh, I was talking about the RPMs. I was caught up. My own fault. Forgot about the red dot. There's so many habits. Dude, it was red dot. We had to move our king. Well, we're going to barrel forward with the pawns. You see what happens? Start yapping and forget about the basic habits. Ay, ay, ay. What are we doing? Amateur hour. Queen takes on e5. Holy smokes. Did he just remove the red dot for us? Am I supposed to take this now? That looks like a free piece to me, guys. We'll see what happens here. He took the red dot away. Now we can sort. It's like, now we can move. But it's obvious because we're in check. Of course we have to move. That was our bad. Shouldn't have dropped that pawn. Shouldn't have happened. Knight e2. My goodness. Well, that's how you know we're just dealing with complete amateurs here. That would hang your knight, guys. Ay, ay, ay. All right, bishop is hit. Obviously, we have to move it. Bishop d6 is no good, so probably just bishop back, right? Staying on that central square. Bishop hit. In order to hit the center, I guess I'm going to go here. Okay, our knight is being attacked. Where can we go that's sort of near the center? I mean, as I always say, back where you came from is usually one of the smartest places to be. Okay, our knight is attacked. I guess we're thinking center, so I suppose here. I don't want to lose that knight for free. This is the only central square we can use. Okay, bishop is getting hit. Man, the only way to move the bishop and hit the center is to go here. What the heck is happening? Getting pushed around here. Knight in the middle. This is a very strange game. I only have 2 pawns left. I mean, he's really taking his time here. Oh, okay. We might have an internet gambit. I like that. I like that. This is what we need. Okay, what do we got here? Knight moved. We got our knight in the center. How about another knight in the center? Knight in the middle has to be good habits, especially 2 of them. Okay, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I think we may have been helped out by his internet connection there. What do you think? I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I got good connection, so it's not on me. But I think it may have been assisted a little bit. And we're at $7.99 again. Dude, $7.99 again. It's just like, cut it out. Cut it out. Well, you know, we have no choice. We got to get back in here against Big Diego. We're meeting in the middle. The knight's coming out. The other knight is joining. We have our 2 knights here. We got our bishop. Obviously, our king castling. Red dot. Red dot. Gotta be careful of that. Okay. Got this in the center. Honestly, I could have played this. That would have been a little bit more level 2 habits. I can even admit that. Let's not forget our snorkel. This would be nice, but we're still going to stick with it. Bishop out, queen, rook to the middle, all the usual good stuff. Okay, he's really in the think tank here. I would have liked if my pawn went to d5. It's just a much more aggressive move, and I'm interested in playing these aggressive moves when my opponent's moving his queen around. So you're telling me that we brought out the snorkel on the guy, and he doesn't know what to do? Like, what's going on here? Bring the bishop into the middle, right? Both bishops happy, attacking central squares. We want to bring the rooks into the middle, which means we're probably going to bring our queen up. Then we've got the RPMs after that. This is all level 1 stuff. You guys should know. How useful is this red dot thing, though? When there's a rook or a queen aimed at your king, and the only thing in the way is your pawn, get out of dodge. Get out of dodge. Okay, all we proved is that in order to be an 800, you don't need habits, you just need good internet. It's that simple. You just need good internet. No problem. Good internet and a snorkel. Easy. Well, kind of a funny way to end up back at 800, but we'll take it. We have to be satisfied with that. All in a day's work, you know. We brought ourselves from 750 to 800. That's progress, 50 points. Not going to scoff at that. You have good internet, but you're still 333. No, you must be forgetting the snorkel then. Then that explains it. Because obviously good internet and a snorkel, you'd be 800, so... Must be missing the snorkel. President Greg was once 333, but the circle intervened and saved him at his lowest point. Let's do it. Game 1. Hopefully we can win the first one. It's always, I always feel a little rusty. Okay. Obviously, we have our e4 move. That's a capture. Go straight for it and take the opportunity to hit the queen every time. The knights are out. We need a pawn in the middle of the board. And now it's time to develop the bishop. Hitting the center. These moves should not be a surprise anymore. Bishop out. Don't mind... a snorkel just to see what the guy's up to. Okay, let's get castled here. And we got, the rook coming to the middle. I've already taken care of this. Okay, the guy's taking our pawn in the center. Obviously, we're not going to do this, so just going to take back, right? We're well aware of these pins. We're starting to do them ourselves. Okay, guy's hitting us with this, and hey, we can't hang free pieces. And I see a trade. So it's a gimme. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We are already up a piece. Now, that might take some time to work out. Now, hang on a second. I take this and not that. I take that and not that. You got to do it in the right way. First time you see that, you might be caught off guard. But following the habits, making sure not to hang any pieces, that'll take us home. bishop out, right? Hitting the center. Happy with everything here. A trade we're more than happy with. Rook to the middle and offering a trade. I mean, come on. It's too easy at this point. Give me that. Let's bring the rook to the middle. And at this point, might hit him with a few RPMs, right? All right, RPM time. And it is an endgame, so we're definitely going to be bringing, okay, bishop needs to move. Center's right here. Two very acceptable moves, in my opinion. I'm going to choose the literal, more central one, but yeah, have absolutely no problem with that. As I said, we are in an endgame, so I'm hitting a few RPMs here, but really, it's time to bring the king in, isn't it? Let's bring that king into the middle. Okay. So we're done that. The king is in. Okay, guys, getting a little froggy here. Hitting our pawns. What are we gonna do? Really defend it? I'm more in a RPM move. I'm not here to play defense. Let's go, let's go. Take that. Take this. Knight in the middle. That looks like a pretty good one. Also gets another RPM. This is a little offside for me, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe the knight into the middle kind of looks like a good one. Also gets a trade. We're interested in those. And we can keep our king active here. Stay close to the middle. Bishop needs to move. Well, don't judge me for this. It's the only place I can go. Cut me some slack here. I mean, I guess that's all we got. Use our rook in the endgame and start to take pawns. I think we're gonna go with that one. I guess we're gonna go with that one. But he didn't realize. We got a sniper back here, tucked away, incognito. He's got the camo on. You would never expect a bishop to be sitting here on h1. But I got you, buddy. I got you. Okay, here we go. We're just going to take some pawns here using our pieces. Obviously, our king activating into that center. And, you know, we do want to bring this rook back and just kind of catch the pawns from the front. Let's get those RPMs in there. Just like the TikTok, for real. Well, king in front of the pawns. We know that this is going to be important as the pawns are pushing. Do see the opportunity to win one of these pawns, so let's go ahead and take it. And again, it's a race to put your king in front of the pawns. Your king is never useful behind or beside, right? If the king's here, that's ideal. Bishop's hit. We'll go somewhere central here. We'll kind of complete our I guess blockade of the pawns there. And what can we do now? Bring our rook to the center. Okay, so we got the rook in the center. We got the bishop kind of hitting the center. We got our king. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Now, how can we break through? Rook in the center. Continue to try to attack the guy here. We need to get our hands on these pawns, but it's not the easiest thing to do. Trying to clean up these pawns. You can't take them from the front, so I think this makes a little bit more sense. We'll go ahead and take that. Now, the most important thing in chess, how to checkmate. Well, our opponent here, Titleist Knight, is already better than any of our opponents. And why? Because he's moving. He's not resigning. So let's immediately lock in and learn how to checkmate with a king and a rook. There's no better time than the present to demonstrate. You would have already stalemated by this point. Perfect. Perfect. Then this lesson is for you. And anyone out there who feels there's no way they would win. Now, we're going to slowly execute this checkmate, and we're going to review it after. As you're watching, it's probably looking pretty easy. In this position, to be honest, the game is just over. Immediately over. I would still say it's possible to maybe go the wrong way here, but this move right here blocks the game up and the checkmate happens that fast. What just happened there? Everyone is confused. Let's immediately have a look. This is crucial. And by the way, this bishop on the board, irrelevant. So irrelevant that I actually don't even want you to ever use it to try to help. You will only hurt yourself. So if you have a bishop and a rook, or like a knight and a queen, don't use the knight, don't use the bishop. Just use the queen, just use the rook. That's all you're ever going to need to checkmate. So what were the steps? What were the steps? I introduced this to you at this level. Do I think you'll be able to do it? No. You're probably going to suck at this. But by the time you're good at it, you'll probably be 12, 1300 anyway. And that's when you'll need it. So what went into this? This bishop truly could be off the board. And we need a visual. So let's actually put it off the board, right? So if you're ever in a position like this, you've got your rook, your king, your opponent's king. This is pretty much the exact position we were in. We had a bishop. Let's get rid of it though. How do you checkmate the king with only a rook? Well, there's a lot of ways to do it, right? There are a lot of techniques out there. I think the easiest technique is shrinking the box. Yes, that means the king is already going to be in a box no matter what. Even if the rook is all the way over here, I could still say the king is in a box. So no matter where your pieces start, there will always be some kind of box. And what it means is that the king should never be able to cross either side. So you're always going to be getting the king over there into the corner of your box. Now, sometimes they might just end up on the side. That's fine too. You can deliver checkmate there. But if they're as stubborn as possible, if they really make you work, then they might end up all the way here. Nevertheless, they should never end up here or here, because you'll just be shrinking this box like this. You get the point, right? So how do you shrink the box? I mean, first you want to make it as small as possible, which means maybe in this position, I might already play rook here. So we just shrunk the box a little bit. If the black king moved here, yes, I could shrink the box like this. But the problem is that the king is going to hit our rook, and you can see how it's impossible to maintain this box. So you can't do it with just your rook, and you never should. You should never jump out with your rook way separated from your king. They should always be operating side by side, step by step, which means that even though I could shrink the box here, probably what I would do, because my rook just stepped away, is I would bring my king in. And then when black moves again, I would shrink the box a little bit more. Right? Now the box just went like that. The king is never going to go here. It's never going to go here. it's only going to go in this direction. Okay. Black's going to make a move. Let's say it's here. Clearly, we cannot shrink the box, right? It's impossible. I can make the box bigger, but that's literally the opposite of what I want to do. So if you ever are in a position where you actually have no possible rook move to make the box smaller, it means your rook is already on the perfect square, and your next move should be with your king. Pretty easy to remember. Let's say we go here. Now, if the black king goes up, I'm hopeful that as a group, we are able to produce the next move. If not individually, as a group. We can do this one. Rook c4. Yeah, exactly. The box is like this, and we're about to make it like this. That's if the king went there. What if the king went here? Here you would have a choice. You can make the box smaller in either direction. Both work. Truly up to you. But no matter which rook move you do, most likely your next move is with your king. Always just keep them together. What if the king goes here? What if the king goes here? What's going to be our next move? Understanding what move to do here is going to be very important. Because if you make the wrong move here, you're never going to checkmate using this pattern. You're not going to understand it. It's not going to make sense. You have to go with your king. And it has to be here. And that might feel weird because you're kind of getting in the way of your rook. You're not making the box any smaller. But after this, if you move your rook, clearly the black king is going to be able to go somewhere that they're not really supposed to go. So we have to move our king. Let's say that you did this king move instead, right? And then I went back here and you did this king move. And you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm a genius. Now if the king moves here, I just make the box smaller. Well, guess what? Black's going to go here. And you can't make the box smaller. What move should you play here? Yeah, king d3. The same thing as king d4. So it's important that you remember, in some cases where you can't use your rook to make the box smaller, first of all, you always use your king, so you know guaranteed it's going to be a king move because you literally can't do this or this. Also remember that you should never be giving check. So if you're giving check, you already know you have the wrong move. And if neither rook move works, you must move your king. In the case where they do a move like this, you just always want to match it. Now, after you do this, the opponent's going to move their king. Okay? They're going to go like this. They could move the king anywhere. No matter where they put the king, your next move is easy. It's always going to be a rook move, and it's always going to make the box smaller, and it's always going to work. Okay. Now you play a move like this. What's the next move after I do this? King c3. Kenrins, why is rook d4 wrong? Because it's a check. Anytime you're checking the king, you've messed up. So that's easy to remember. Remember, if this is the goal and this is our box, the only way you can make the box smaller is if you move this way or this way. In this case, both are check. So you know it's not a rook move. And if you know it's not a rook move, it has to be a king move. And if it has to be a king move, if you just look at the available options here, I mean, you can rule out these ones for being illegal, and you can rule out these ones because they suck and they lose your rook. So you actually only have one move. Okay, let's say we play king here. What should our next move be? Yeah, king d4. Not rook check, and certainly not rook here, so you know it's a king move. King here. And now, it doesn't matter what black's next move is, because our next move is going to be this no matter what. Why not rook e4? But have you been here since the start? We said, this is our box. We're making it smaller. You're changing the box. So you're telling me you're going to do this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here, and then you're going to play this. We're going to go fucking back and forth. What's happening here? Got you this way. Got you this way. Stay where you are. Don't move. Pick one box from the start and always make it smaller. Not in this situation. Hang on a sec. You've typed 2 comments and you're already getting us to like follow this rule, but not in this situation. No. We're building habits here. Okay? Obviously, the move rook e4 doesn't lose the game. Go ahead if you want. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. Do not like this move ever. Pick your box from the start and just make it smaller. Doesn't matter if it takes a little longer. You'll always get there in the end. So yes, king d4. Yes, rook c5. I know it's going slow, but once you see all the patterns, it's going to be the exact same thing every single time. So if you're ever in a situation where your rook's attacked, or let's say pressured, and you can't make the box smaller without a check, you do a waiting move. If you can make the box smaller without a check, you do it. If you can't, you know it's a king move. If you can't without a check, you know it's a king move. If you can't without a check, you know it's a king move. We can make the box smaller without a check. Can we do it now without a check? No. So we know it's a king move, which means it has to be here or we're going to lose our rook. Smaller without a check. Can we make it smaller without a check? No. That's not possible. That hangs the rook, and that's a check. So you know they're both wrong. So it must be a king move. And if you're worried about going this way or this way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Both of them will work. For example, I've been going here. Let's say we go here. Where's the king going to go? Can we make the box smaller without a check? No, we can't. So we know we have to move our king. Can we make the box smaller without a check? No. So we have to move our king. King's going to move. Doesn't matter. We know that the rook is next. The box is smaller. It's not check. Can we make the box smaller without a check? No. So move your king. Where can you move your king? Literally 1 square, or you're going to lose your rook. King is going to have to move. Can you make the box smaller without a check? No, you can't. So move your king. And yes, at the very end, be on the lookout and make sure you never end up making the box this small. That's all I have to tell you. In this case, we did exactly what I had in our game, if you remember, right? This is exactly what we had in the game, and I delivered checkmate like that. Let's say here. It's important that you guys don't do this. Make sense? This is the only square when delivering a rook checkmate that you should never, and I mean it, never have your rook. You have your rook there, you're trolling. You've made the box small, congratulations, but that's at some point you have to snap out of it and deliver the mate. And even if you, let's say even if you have a position like this and you're thinking, wait, does the box rule apply? It still does, right? You don't have to all of a sudden like switch your pattern. No, you can still think of the box like this. In order to make that smaller, you need to shuffle along this way. So in this position, I would play this. Can I make the box smaller without checking? No, I can't. So I know I have to move my king. The box is smaller. The box is smaller. Can I make the box smaller without checking? No. Can I do it now? No. And then again, never make this move and the mate will always be right there for you. Let's say you had, I don't know, somehow the moves were different. It was the other way around. King here. Can we make the box smaller? No. We go here. Here. Right? Hopefully you see what I mean. Why this could be a little bit tricky at the end. You'll never get this if you're doing our usual thing where the box is like that from the start. But it's possible you end up in some funky position like this. Why would this be a little bit weird? Because you should never do that. Never. So, because you can't shrink it, you know your next move is this. And then your opponent is going to do this. And guess what? You're going to be thrown off. This is the only way that it could possibly be something outside of what we've just discussed. Because now you're in a position where you're like, wait, I can't make the box smaller, so I have to move my king. But then I go here and you're like, but I can't make the box smaller, so I move my king. And you see what I mean? You're like, it gets a little confusing. In this position, all you have to remember is that the rook just hugs the king. And then the checkmate will be next move. I don't have anything better to tell you than that. It'll always be checkmating too if you ever run into that. You're probably going to get confused by that first couple times it happens, but for the rest of it, it's pretty straightforward. So this is the only, I think, the trickiest part. Otherwise, you're using the exact same pattern every time. So if we remember our game, I know there's a bishop on the board, but let's just have a look, right? Our first move, what did we do? Rook here, then rook here. These are both not checks. Then we moved our king. Then we moved our king again, right? Making sure not to check. The box became smaller. And here, the box cannot become smaller. We need to move our king. So what did we do? We played king here, as you all should. And in this case, the rook's already hugging the king, which means checkmate will follow. So you should never be delivering check. You should only be delivering checkmate. You guys are high value people. You don't get out of bed for less than checkmate. Someone calls you in the morning, yo, bro, I got a check. I got a check for you. You're not getting out of bed. You're important people, okay? You only get out of bed for checkmate. No checks, only checkmate. You just work your way up and then boom, checkmate at the end. None of this check, 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 check. You're getting nowhere. Checkmate. Okay. Quick answers only, white to move. What should we do? First move is always up for grabs. Rook d4, I like it. Okay, that's our box. Sigma squared has called rook d4. Okay, next. King e2, king d2, doesn't matter. I agree. King up. I'll help you out with your next one. Let's call it king up. Okay, I'm going to go here. Next. King e4. Can't make it smaller without a check. Must be king e4. Okay, next. Need to make our box smaller without a check. Yes, we can. Rook up. Your turn. We can't make the box smaller without a check. We don't want to be going for any other patterns, Benjamin. Yes, you could do this. Try a different pattern. That's not the one we're learning. King d4. Because it's the only move with your king that doesn't lose the rook. So you have to. Next. King e5. We can't make the box smaller without giving a check. And we don't want to be checking. We are important people. Right? We only show up for checkmate. Rook d6 is correct. And are you guys noticing a pattern? As soon as you move your king up next to your rook like this, your next move is always with the rook, right? Pretty useful. All right, I'm going to go here. King d5. Getting used to it. You can't use your rook. You never give a check. Guess what? Your king can't go anywhere else. Okay, I'm going here. Rook e6 pre-move. Whoa! Hold. Hold. Rook e6 pre-move is incorrect. Hold. There's been a breach in the circle. No rook e6 pre-moves. Make sure you get there properly. If the king goes there, you definitely don't play that. King e6 pre-move. Jesus, I mean, I give you guys, I give you guys the option to learn a checkmate. I'm like, you know what? I think they're ready. I know my class. They've demonstrated good habits so far. I think they're ready. We got people pre-moving. You guys don't even know how to do the checkmate. You can't even execute it. You're talking about pre-moving it. Calm down, everyone. I've given you too much power already, too much responsibility. It's getting to your head. King f7, rook e6. Not pre-moved, just rook e6. Okay, fine. King here, it's your turn. You truly do have a choice here, just so you guys know. Two extremely valid moves. We will take the majority rule. King d7, that's right. We got a few of you, didn't we? Got a few of you, didn't we? Always make the box small. That's priority number one. Box smaller. Priority number one. You're valid if you play this, but you're not correct. Box smaller if you can. And if it's not check, it's your time. Right here. King e7, sure. Box smaller. King e6, don't need it now. Rook f7, yes. Only two moves you could really consider. And yes, we make the box smaller because it's not check. I've only got one move, so finish the game. Are you guys noticing the possibility that you could play king there? That would definitely be a mistake. Definitely a mistake. Make sure you don't do this. Right? King out here. Go around slowly. Right? That's the way to do it. King f6. King g6. I'm going to go here. You guys are playing this. I'm going to go here. You guys are playing. Yes, rook f8. Not this. Not any other king move. This. Now, have you noticed something interesting about the checkmate? Have you noticed anything about the checkmating position at the very end? Because there's a consistency. Contrary to maybe what we know and love, there is not going to be a beautiful arrangement of the king perfectly across from the king. Every time that we checkmate our opponent using this pattern, they are going to be where? In the corner. Our king is always going to be here. And our rook is always going to be here. So that's what the checkmate should look like. So if it doesn't really look like that, something's wrong, right? The final position, no matter what, using this pattern will always be this kind of like triangle formation, right? It almost looks like a little tiny penis, doesn't it? Easy to remember. There you go. It was already something that you were not going to forget, but surely now it's ingrained. The pieces are always placed like this. Truly. So you won't have your king here. You won't have your rook here, right? It's just not how it is. The checkmate always has the two pieces like this and then a checkmate. Not to be forgotten. Not to be forgotten. That's how you checkmate with a rook every single time. King here, rook here, king here. Once you get good at it, you can do it quickly. The pattern will never fail you. And it always looks like that at the end. There you go. That's your rook checkmate lesson. We are only at 816. We got sidetracked there. Don't you love it when your teacher gets sidetracked and, you know, it started with 4 times 3 and all of a sudden you guys are watching a movie? Great time. This is correct, John. All circle members will be evaluated based on being able to complete that. Okay. Everyone should be able to complete that checkmate with 30 seconds on the clock. This is the truth. Difficult, but doable. This will be an aptitude test. That's what we're all working towards. That checkmate with 30 seconds. Who can do that in 30 seconds? You guys. You guys will be able to do that in 30 seconds. Are you going to be able to do it in 30 seconds right now? I just showed it to you. Of course not. Will you be potentially called upon to do it in 30 seconds? Yes. Yes, you might. Dave, you think that's in your wheelhouse? 30 seconds with a rook? Feeling confident? Even if you're not there right now, you know that you can get there? Drill it a couple times. You can do it. You believe. It starts with belief. It starts with belief. Now, Dave, you couldn't possibly do it. Couldn't possibly do it right now, right? Only a guy with a massive hog would be able to do that. Set him up, Taco. I actually think that they have some things that time them for you. Dave is prepared to go to the front of the class. Well, seeing as there's truly nothing that I can do that's, like there's nothing I can do against Dave in that case that's going to be anything more than anyone else can do. So all we need to do is grab this position. It could be whatever. right? Let's see if we can do this. Dave, it's going to be you against me, of course. I mean, I just have the king, so there's really not much I can do. And I believe that you have the first move, Dave. So all I'll say is you can go ahead and make one move, whatever your first move is, and then I'll go ahead and set your time to 30 seconds. I do need to adjust it. And for this one, you're going to need to be on chess.com, Mr. Dave. Yes, /play/online. We are going to hop on over to an account where I can actually start this game. And we'll see Dave's demonstration at the front. 30 seconds. Do you guys believe in Dave? He's an OG habitzer, but hey, this is not easy. What do you guys think? Are you guys, are you backing Dave on this one? Are you backing Dave? He's got 30 seconds. It's tough. It's tough, right? Big believer. Dave seems like a circler through and through. I can see that. All right, let's see it. Let's see it. I believe there we have it. Dave, you can hit us with your first move there. All right, Dave's going down to 30 seconds. Ooh. Okay. He's already had to recalibrate, but at least he recognized the incorrect move. Okay. And then we have, okay, the 18 seconds. Are you guys believing? Dave? Uh-huh. Do we have any? Oh, I heard a check sound. I heard a check. You heard it? That's not the sound you want to hear. No. Oh no. Oh no. Diamond Dave. Diamond Dave. He didn't have it. Clammy hands. Clammy hands. Bro said, how many repetitions was that? Well, it's at least 3, Dave. Would you like to go on record and claim that it was 5 repetitions? How many repetitions was that? Well, 3 minimum, sir. Obviously, Dave slipped up early here with this one. Should have made the box smaller, but he immediately recognized and corrected, right? He went there, he went back. He's like, okay. But then I think he was cruising here. Killed it. Terrible here, right? Check, check. But then he sort of, like he had one back and forth here, one back and forth here, and then he had it again. It was here that Dave just needed to keep moving that king. He was probably 4 or 5 moves away from mate here. And here, obviously, we need this one, and then this, and then, right? There you go. Dave, First opportunity. Didn't make it happen. It's tough. The pressure's on. But first attempt from Dave, he had 30 seconds. He came pretty close. Does this make you think that it's more or less achievable for you? Because maybe when I first said, oh, 30 seconds, do this mate, some of you might have been like, okay, dude, there's no chance. But after looking at Dave's performance, does that look like something that you could replicate? Or you're like, okay, no, that was still pretty impressive by Dave. Like, he did it better than I probably could have. Because that was 30 seconds, and he nearly had it, which means give Dave 10 more seconds. Feels like he's got it for sure. Starts to feel weird in the final moves. Yep, a little bit. As you get honed in on that corner. An old habits, dog. All right, Dave, I'm going to give you one more opportunity, and then we're going to continue. We're going to continue moving up the habits ladder. What we saw here was way too close to say that Dave doesn't have it in him. So one last try for the class. If Dave completes this, there's no homework. Just got to put something on the line to get him to lock in. All right. We're going again. Dave. Let's do it. Dave! No! Dave! Dave! That does not count. It does not count. Homework for everyone. Does not count. Dave was a mere one move away from completing it. Where did Dave lose all his time? Five seconds down to 2. See that? And it was very similar last time. It's the final like box closing. But the nice thing is that you guys know for a fact that your pieces go here, right? So as soon as you get your rook to this square, you in your head, you know your next 2 moves are literally, and you can make them safely without even analyzing. The rook always goes here, which means your king always goes there with the king in the corner, and then that's going to be a checkmate. You just know this for a fact because I've told you. Obviously, I'm not saying Dave knows it for a fact. We literally just looked at it, but that's the reminder. So at the end, when you're confused how to get the pieces to certain squares, well, just remember, these are your target squares if that's the corner. So once you get the rook here, you know the king just needs to go there. There it is. All right. We're going to continue. We are going to continue. Dave could not get it done, but he certainly looks capable. And hopefully you guys are as well. Believe me, there are going to be some people called up to the front of the class to perform this one. So make sure you stay ready, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you stay ready. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. We are at 8:16. A little intermission there. It looks like he was cooking it. It did. Dave looked reliable there. We're jumping back in 5-minute games. Hopefully you retained a little bit of that lesson. Who knows if we'll need to use it again? Let's go. What's up, base? More 5-minute games. Roberto. We're meeting in the middle. We're coming out with the knight, following with the other knight. And now I need to develop this bishop, right? Now, this is something we never ever do. This is actually taken. So this guy, using my nice new idea, is probably going to go here. Some more aggressive development. And I do have it pinned here, so I'm not going to be in a particular rush, right? Let's get this pawn up. Okay, I still see a nice pin there. Develop this bishop, right? Got our knights out. We got our bishops out. Ah, now I see that there's no pin. That's usually the moment. It's still trade after all. When it's pinned, there's really no need to, but if it's not pinned anymore, usually just go for a trade, takes back, and we'll castle. Nice and easy. We want to get our snorkel. We want to bring the rook to the middle, the queen up. You guys know the drill. Let's do it. Okay. An exchange there. Rook to the middle. Get our queen up. Other rook over. Okay, he's in the tank here. I wonder what he's trying to come up with. Rook goes back. Okay. Bring the queen. Bring the rook. Got our rooks in the middle. We got our snorkel. We got our knights out. Bishop hitting the center. Time for some RPMs. Random pawn moves. How to pick queen d7 versus queen e7? That is a great question. Can anyone help our circle member here? How do we pick between queen d7 and queen e7? It's, boy, is it ever tough. RPMs. RPMs. Haven't used any thought process here, just RPMs. Isn't it nice that we really haven't had to sit here and think, oh, what would I do against this? What would I do against that? What should I do in this position? Isn't this nice, guys? We're just sitting here RPMing our way up the board, and I mean, I haven't really been concerned about what my next move is going to be because I'm just here RPMing random pawn moves. Buddy, on the other hand, is what is this? What is this? I'm over here doing RPMs, and my guys just hanging bishops. What is this? Like, this guy's starving for an idea. All right, our queen is hit. Where should we go, ladies and gentlemen? Keep our queen central, right? We could go here, we could go here. We could even go all the way in the middle, but I would say the most normal move is probably this one, right? We still have RPMs to finish, so I would say this is maybe jumping the gun a little bit. It's obviously not a bad move, but I think this makes a lot of sense. Maybe leaving that square for our knight, finishing our RPMs over here. Okay, we got a trade there, not gonna think twice. And let's finish up these. Yeah, capture here, of course. Finish the last RPM, and we're good to go. Okay, now that we have no more RPMs, what are the, let's say, the standard plans I look for here? I would say we've gotten to the point where after RPMs are concluded, we have a good idea of what to look out for, and it's all possible in this position. All the usual stuff. Yep. I think the two most important ones that need to be said are doubling the rooks, right? That's like a big one we look for, and just bringing a knight into the middle. There will very often be a square you can bring it into. In this case, knight into the middle looks like a pretty good one to me, and maybe we could play this one and look to double. But yeah, knight into the middle, a key idea. As soon as you're done those RPMs, you think about usually moving this knight into the middle. Boy, that would be great. All right. Maybe get doubled up here. Yes, not e7. You guys are showing your hawk-like vision. Queen is being hit. Where should we go? Just kind of stay central here. Not this one, of course. Once again, hawk-like vision. Okay, well, we have an interesting spot. If we put the rook here, then we're kind of running into the bishop hitting it. So we don't really have that to do. We already have our knight in the middle. We don't have any more RPMs. Something that I've done in the past is, you don't have any more RPMs, move your knight. We can't really go in the center, so let's go here. And then at least we get our last random pawn move ready. Doubling the rooks here also makes some sense, but personally, I'm actually trying to double here. I just can't. Oh. 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 Well. That's unfortunate for our guy there. Very unfortunate for him. Knight takes queen. Go ahead and grab that from you. In this case, we can conclude our RPMs, it looks like. And we have no more left. We can recapture in the center. That looks pretty dang smart. Okay, so we've got the piece in the center. I think now it's time to double the rooks. We've been trying to do that all game. There we go. Okay, the rooks here. I feel like centralize this queen again makes a good amount of sense. Okay, he's doing this. As always with runaway pawns, station a rook in front of it. Seems to be the answer. And go ahead and take it. Okay. Rooks are doubling here. It looks like we do have it defended. I guess we'll bring our queen into the middle. Into the actual middle of the board. And since our rook moving here would allow the rooks to hit this knight, I think we'll just save ourselves, but keep hitting the middle and defending our knight. And obviously, go ahead and take that material. There you go. It's just that easy. We didn't do that much. We just took what was offered to us. And he came out with the stone wall. Luckily, we're on level 2 habits, and the bishop out is a much better way to handle that. Because we make sure that as soon as it's not a pin, we take this knight. So that worked out decently, but it was the f5 move that was no good for him. This move was bad. We got our habits in, and have a look at this situation here, guys. Okay, what's white's clock? 3 minutes, 45 seconds, right? Okay. Down 15 seconds. Okay, down 15 seconds. Okay, down 30 seconds. Oh. So 15, 15, 30. So he's already lost a minute. Okay. Down 30 more seconds from that. So he spent a minute and 30 seconds. We probably spent like 10 seconds moving these pawns. And the conclusion of all that was he hung a piece. So all I really did was RPM, took his piece when he gave it to me, traded, took this when he gave it to me. I mean, these were unprompted. The bishop, the queen. It's like all he did was hang his pieces on g6 the entire game. And then at the very end of the game, he was fed up hanging pieces on g6. He said, well, let me just conclude by hanging this one on g3. How about that? And that was the game. The goddamn G file. We're at 824 here. 824, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. Okay. Obviously, we're going to meet in the middle here. The knight's coming out opposite his. We meet again, old foe. Bishop out. If the knight goes out, knight g5's annoying. So, here we go. Bishop to c5. And now the knight can come out. Because now we're ready to castle. Okay, we're going to make sure to hit the snorkel here into the center with d6. We are on level 2 habits. So we're going to be playing bishop e6. Thank you very much. We don't mind this in level 2. I was saying I think this is one of those things that in level 2, it's the easiest one to add. Because normally we would play rook e8, bishop, and then take it. You know, you don't have to really do that anymore. You can take back with the pawn just fine. Rooks into the middle. RPMs. Bishop needs to move. Obviously, we go to the middle first. Looking pretty nice. Oh, and would you look at that? It's so goddamn easy to win. Wouldn't this be nice if that happened every game? He not only hangs his queen for me, but then he resigns as well. Perfect. I didn't have to do anything. Didn't have to do anything. Nice. Well, there you go, guys. Habits. Too strong. Too strong, I'm telling you. The resignation, very, very welcomed as well. I don't need to be wasting my time converting this stuff. I'm glad he agrees. He knows I would have converted it perfectly with no mistakes. So, yeah, why waste time? Okay, well, let's not stop the train. 8:31. E4. We're going to get the knights. We're going to get the other knight, right? Two knights follow. We got the pawn in the middle. The bishop comes out next. Okay, the pawn goes up. We're going to take. And remembering our math class, we're just going to capture. Okay, we're going to take here. We're going to get castle. Of course, that's a trade here. Let's make sure to castle up. And one of the important things I'm reminding everyone about is if you can ever bring your rook in the middle and check the king, do it every time. It's always going to be good. It will never not be good. So this is an example of level 1, we just play these moves. Level 2, I'm going to play these moves, but I know I'm going to play this, and this is going to be more powerful, more annoying for my opponent if we can do it when the king is there. Okay, obviously we have a trade to do, and so we will. Okay, play in the center with just d3 here. Also h3, we want to get our snorkel up there. Okay, bishop needs to move, and it does not have access to any square except this one, so there we go. Okay, time to move our queen up. Here we go. Our rook is coming into the middle, as you guys know. There it is. Okay. Taking our pawns. Well, guys, I think it's RPM time. Let's go right for it. We got our rooks in the middle. We got our snorkel. Hitting the RPMs. I got maybe one more next, right? Pawn to d4. We got a queen trade as well. Can't complain. Hey, there's another trade for us. Let's do it. Make another trade. I see a pawn that we can take right down the middle of the board. That looks pretty good. And we are in the endgame, which means it is time for our king to make an appearance, everyone. Yep. It is time. Straight into the middle. That's where we need to be. We don't want to spend too much time, king on g1, etc., etc. We want to get right into the action. Okay, our rook is hit. Where can we go? I mean, what about the absolute middle of the board? Offering a trade. This looks like a win-win. We love trades. So helpful. Take that one back. Let's take this one back. Okay, the knight comes in. Got to move our king here most likely. In this case, this move looks reasonable. Okay. The knight's going after this pawn. I definitely see the importance of holding on to that pawn as well. It looks like I have a couple of moves that I could consider. This knight's pretty good on its own. I wish we could go here, but we can't really. Knight d2, knight e5. I mean, they both look like moves that accomplish the defense here, but since we are in the endgame, I think we're a little bit more of a king move kind of guy. Let's do it. Let's bring our king. We're all about our king here. Okay, staying in the middle. It might be time for a few RPMs as well. Let's go ahead. Now, obviously, those pawns are not in front of our king, so much better to just go ahead and move them. Okay, just keeping our king in front of the pawns. I feel like that's a pretty good strategy. And just waiting for potential blunders from our opponent. Okay, we have a knight trade. Obviously, we're going to take it, and I guess we'll come up here and kind of put defend everyone there. Okay, check. Keep our king kind of close by here. Okay, well, I mean, we could take it. Unfortunately, our job is to stop these pass pawns. So, I mean, I'm going to sit here and do my best to stop them, but I don't really think it's going to happen. Okay, I mean, got to send it, right? Now that it's safe and there's only clear skies ahead, we got to do it. Got to just go up the board. Don't exactly know how we got a queen, but I'll take it. Don't think we were supposed to get one there. Were you agree? I was counting that one out. I said, wait a minute. Okay. Just waiting for something to happen here. I'm at the mercy of him. I mean, he's the one that's got my king dead to rights here. Okay, it's our turn. What can we do here? I mean, I suppose a check kind of makes sense. Let's go for that. Keep checking him. Oh. I guess we need to take this. Awkward. Awkward. I think we may need to may need to start moving our pawns here. The RPMs may need to check in, guys. Well, you got me. F3 from the guy. Holy. We got some energy here. You know what would be cool if he showed the king and rook checkmate, but I don't think that's going to happen. That would be, I would love to test my opponent right now. Do you think he could do it? All right, let's see what he cooks up here. Let's see what kind of art he's able to muster up. Okay, now let's pretend those rooks are not there. Oh, damn it. Thought maybe we might get a little technique there. okay. You know, it's an abstract piece. There's something mildly, you know, you could, yeah, there's something there, maybe. You know, I like it. An abstract piece here. GG, but we're never going to take our stick off the ice. We have got way too many points at the end to ever do anything different. Make that clear every single time. Yeah, we should never have even got a queen there. Yeah, not much to say about this one. We kind of lost our queenside pawns, and he never really looked back. We went for some trades, and he just had these 3 connected pawns. So even though we had 2 pawns over here, it wasn't that good, right? You see the G pawn made it so that we could never really move this or this. So these 2 pawns made these 4 pawns feel like they weren't even there. Why didn't we go queen takes a4 check? Why didn't we play a move on the side of the board in favor of a move a bit closer to the center? Well, I think you can answer that one. Doesn't mean you always have to, but that's certainly why we did it. Let's keep going. GG to our opponent on that one. Not going to let one loss in the end game discourage us. We've been getting so many points and wins and undeserved results from the end game. It served us well. Okay. Yamilana. Let's meet in the middle here. In comes the knight. The other knight will follow. Okay. The bishop we know is coming out next. This looks pretty good. Let's get castled. Obviously a trade straight away. Get the snorkel in. And you know what I might do? Instead of d6, I'm seeing the opportunity to just be a little bit more aggressive with our moves. Why not? This is what level 2 habits is all about. Just finding those small moments where we can be a little more aggressive. Let's do it. Queen cannot remain in the center, so maybe I'll just go to the next best thing. Oh, never mind. The best thing is in the center. I'm back. Back like I never left. Okay, let's develop our bishop. Considering the center, I hope that we all agree. This looks like a pretty nice move. And we want the rooks in. Okay. Wow, look at these rooks in the middle. In come the RPMs. We have a beautiful position, if I may say so myself. RPMs. All right, bishop's got to move. Let's stay the most central that we can. Bring the bishop back. Looks pretty solid here. Okay. Go ahead and take that. Finish up our RPMs. Okay. Okay, we have a capture to be made. Okay, we definitely have a capture to be made. Bit weird there. Okay, we've got to move our queen. The center, unfortunately, is not available. Where else can we move the queen? This looks probably like the move that makes the most sense. Sticking close by. Let's trade that. Obviously, we'll trade that as well. And we're in the end game, which means I think it is time to get our king into the middle. No queens on the board. That's how you know you're in an end game. I mean, come on now. Really? Just a free bishop, right? Move this rook. Let's stay central. Okay, we want to get this king in. So in we come with the king. Okay, it doesn't really stop me from getting where we need to go. Keep bringing our king up. Rook, stay in the middle. Here we go. Probably bring our king up. Right, we're all about just being in the middle here. Looks nice. Okay, rook's hit. I mean, I'll stay in the middle here for the moment. Same with the king, into the middle. We don't want to lose our bishop here. So we'll go here instead of maybe all the way back. And we're forked. Well, let's stay in the middle here. Okay. King goes up. Definitely feeling like at this point, maybe some RPMs might be the answer. I mean, we can go back in the center, but I mean, we're already there. So a few RPMs to finish this off. Okay. More RPMs. Just RPM. Okay, we pretty much finished all of them. Take this one. Okay, now we just use our bishop. Right, take our opponent's pawns, bring the bishop back to hit the center. Our king's already in the center. Bring our pawn up. And this is looking pretty trustworthy here. We can bring our queen back into the middle of the board. It's always a good place to be. Let's go ahead and take this one. And maybe we can use this as a learning opportunity. Wow, there's no way. We couldn't possibly. There's no way. Will our opponent allow us the opportunity to practice something we just looked at? I'm still questioning it. But that would certainly be nice. Okay, so the teacher is going to use this as an opportunity to show us. Let's see if we can bring that rook checkmate that we just practiced to life. This is going to look a little bit weird, but we're going to give these queens away, okay? Because we need to create a situation where we just have the rook. I think that this is something that we can learn from. Okay. All right. Well, let's see if we can do the checkmate that we just talked about with the king and the rook. We can even wait to 30 seconds to see if we can simulate. Now, the first thing we're going to do is get our first box. That's the box. Can we make it smaller by giving check? Without giving check? No, we can't. That's a check again. Can't make either of those moves. So we know it has to be with the king. Now the box can become smaller. No checks. Can it become smaller? Nope. Not without check. And we don't give checks. Here we go. Smaller once again. Unfortunately, we can't make it smaller, so I'm moving the king. Can't make it smaller, so I'm moving the king. Rook needs to make the box smaller without giving check. We did it. No problem. Oh, matter of fact, we can do it again. No problem. Can we make the box even smaller? No, not this time. So it's got to be a king move. Can we make the box even smaller? No, we can't. So we got to move our king again. Can we make the box smaller? We can't. So we got to move the king again. That is the checkmate. Don't forget it. Made you a little bit nervous? We had, what are you talking? We had 0.1 on the clock. Tons of time. Tons of time. Did it in a perfect 30 seconds. Tons of time. All right, so with that clear explanation, hopefully no one messes it up from now on, right? All you need to do was see it once. You guys can just checkmate with 0.1 on your clock just like that. Easy. You need a bathroom break right after that? Interesting timing. I suppose we can grant a bathroom break. Matter of fact, we can grant a recess to everyone. We went over an entire checkmate sequence, pretty complicated. So why don't we all take a short recess? We not only had the lecture on it, we learned together. We even saw a demonstration just now. We've also gained a little bit of rating today, up to 831. So let's take a short recess and we will reconvene, of course, to continue class. What else?